What's going on, everybody? All right. I'm just going to adjust the camera here. How's that angle? Does that work? Is that good? Hi, Mark. Okay, so going to do some work on the layout. It's quiet right now, so I can actually do that midday. And also, I do need to get this section done here this week. So, yeah, got to finalize that. For anyone who hasn't seen this area of my layout, it's actually directly behind my helix, so there's barely any access to it. Yeah, this is level 2. Hey Perry, how's it going? So I got to get this entire thing ballasted and done because the helix continues next week, and it will be just like the bottom, out of reach, out of sight, out of mind. But I need to do it because it'll be super tricky if I try to do it with the helix in place. So you can see the shop. I did this. This is a custom build. This is not a full representation of the North Bay shops, but it is of its likeness. For example, this should technically be 2 bays back here, along with the other 2 bays at the front. It doesn't matter. And as for the length of it, well, the length doesn't really matter because it gets cut off near the back anyways. Can't really see the back of it. It's mostly just for front presentation. And when was it? A week ago or 2 weeks ago? See how it comes apart and stuff. I added the concrete on the underside. As I slightly remove it, you can see, look at all that time it took me to put all these windows in, and you won't even see the windows. That's dedication. Now, I had a different plan at that time, and you could actually see a different side of it. So even with these pads here, damn, I dropped that. I only painted, halfway up because that's all you're going to see. And I didn't want to waste all my paint. And this is just foam core board, which is the same height as the track. And what I'm going to do first, if I can, if my glue will allow me. Okay. So I bought these. These are from KD. And it's an uncoupling magnet. So if you're running code 83 track, don't put it on top of the rails like that, because the underside of your loco will scrape it and your coupler will hit it, and it's a nuisance. So you got to kind of count out the ties and remove them from the center. And yeah, and then you put it in right in between. Just like that. And it will be well blended, and it doesn't touch anything. There's no interference. And that's what I should have done right from the get-go. But instead, I decided to put them all on top for some reason. I don't know why. I thought that the clearance would be okay, but it turns out I was wrong. And I used a bit of hot glue because it's what I chose to use at the time. I'm not sure if they work. I'm kind of hoping that they do, but the trick is finding some cars right now that actually have magnetic couplers on them. That's the biggest problem, at least that I'm having. So I'm just slightly removing half a dozen ties here without damaging the rail. So what I do is I just go on the inside of the rail and I clip it. They're glued down with white glue. So yeah, honestly, it's not going to take too much to get this out of here. Now, before the stream, because I didn't want to completely bore you, I did up a mixture of ballast, which I'll show you in a minute. Because there's going to be two different kinds of ballast here. There's ballast for mainline, which is going to be this far track in here. And just like in North Bay, you've got your mains going through, and then, which technically there's three, but limitations, right? I only have so much space to work with here. So there's those. And then the rest of this is just obviously for the shop and whatnot and siding. So that'll be a different color ballast. And it's weird. It's like a direct change. It's like completely different ballast altogether. Now, the mainline should technically have a much darker shade of ballast for it, but because I already picked my ballast main color for the layout, I won't be changing that again. I'm just going to do it consistently, all one shade. Or one mixture, I should say. A couple more. The rail is still intact, and it's still even attached with the little spikes. As you can see here, there is a hole. Hey Roy, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Just thought I'd jump on today and do a bit of work. You know how it is. And just gotta clean up some of these. I didn't know if anybody else was doing a live, and I technically didn't check. I'm just like, well, I'm going to do some work. Might as well do some work. I might as well do it online. Because how often do I do this, right? At least once a week, I know. But not as often as I would like. Okay, so that should be good because it's down low enough there. It's below the rails now. We are good. Okay. Get there's little pieces in here that there. Okay. And glue it into place so that she doesn't move. Will I even really use this as how is it intended? I have no idea. I'll have to see once we start doing our little off session type stuff. But I am excited either way because, you know, I can park locomotives in here when I'm not using them. Park cars on the side when they're not in use. It's just more storage space, really. So as soon as I get this done, I will start doing more scenery type stuff. This is just it's one of those things that I have to do before I, you know, forget. But I'm really excited that I'll be doing the Helix next week, which is great. Hey Randall, how's it going? Because that means trains will be going from level 2 to level 3. Oop. And that also means that trains on level 3 will be able to go all the way down to level 1 on the reverse, which is awesome because then I can start running loops. And I've got that layout update video that I have slated for next week. And you guys might be surprised to see how much I've actually gotten done this past month, even though most of it was in the matter of a week. One more, two more, one more. One at each end. Oh yeah, because I already cut that. That's right. Okay, I'm just gonna take off that one. Springfield, Missouri. It's pretty far. Well, it's nice of you to stop by. I know a lot of people enjoy watching people's progress on their layout and whatnot. And this is only a fraction of what I've been working on. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even aesthetically, it being the same height as the ties opposed to it being the same height as the rails. Like this one still, that's, you know, it even kind of sticks up a little bit higher than the actual rail. So it aesthetically, when it's down, it looks a little bit better as well. So now if I had code 100, I could probably put it right on top of the ties, but this is not ideal. Not like this. Ugh. Oh, it broke. Wow, that's cheap. Okay, so there's that. How, like, why would that just, the magnets break? Or am I just super strong? Huh. I mean, you know, I've been working out, so. Yeah. Yeah, that's odd. Crooked River in Eastern. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. I am over here breaking magnets because I can do that apparently. So this one here, this one's going to be a little different because it's technically it's just a siding, but again, I can't reach this area here when I'm on like out of the helix. So I just wanted to be able to drop cars off, you know, no big deal. And I'm like, well, I'll put a magnet in there. And if I do happen to have magnetic uncouplers, then it'll make for some great op session. There's no way I was going to use the Rapido ones. The instructions for those are crazy. I have no idea. I tried. Believe me, I tried. I'm not one to turn away at a challenge, but when I had got some a couple of years ago, I tried it out, and the wiring diagram didn't make sense. So I'm no master electrician either. Okay, so that should be big enough. And I will put my broken magnet right in there. This should fit. Whoop. Should fit. Nope, it wants me to take out one more. Okay. Perfect. Highland Husky Mooch Squad, how's it going? Troy, how's it going, Troy? Thanks for joining us. I'm just working on the layout a little bit here. I've got, this is somewhat of a yard here. And just trying to get these uncoupling magnets in place, if it'll let me. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. One less thing to worry about, right? It's the, and I often talk about it, it's the 100,000 tiny little things that make up this never-ending list of things that I need to do on the layout to get it where it needs to be, right? So there's that. And then, of course, ballast and whatnot. Another thing here that I need to do in order for this to be quote unquote successful, Play-Doh. So hopefully my kids won't be too mad when they notice that I took some of their green Play-Doh. Yeah, that's right, Play-Doh. And I'm going to use it on the layout. But Chris, it's Play-Doh. What the? And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. What the, for sure. But what I'm doing is that I'm filling in this little crack back here between the foam and the backdrop. Hope you guys can see that. Yeah, I mean, you know, depending on the brand of Play-Doh you get, you know, some might have a better taste than others. And I'm using green because hopefully it blends well. Hey, Dwight. How's it going? Now, if I don't catch everybody that's checking in here, I do apologize. My laptop's over on the side here, but I'm facing basically in the opposite direction. And just trying to get some work in. But I do thank you for joining us. Now, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was the Flying Crow who I saw do this. I know somebody saw the live or the work. So if anybody can reassure me that that is correct, that'd be great. Because I feel like it was the Flying Crow. I'm just going little by little here. And again, there's, you know, it's like a little bit of a gap in between the foam and the backdrop. Not too much, but if I start putting ballast here, what will happen is that ballast will start falling down. And yeah. So I'm just going along with some Play-Doh brand Play-Doh for ages 2 and up. So I'm sure we're all good here. Except for Mark, he tends to eat this stuff. So. And I'm just, it's not even like that generous of an amount that I'm putting, but it's going a long way. It's, this entire section here is like 7 or 8 feet long. Oh, there's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone, Mark. But yeah, definitely parental supervision when using Play-Doh, all right? I care about you, man. There's only so much Play-Doh you can eat before you get sick. Friends don't let friends eat Play-Doh. Clear caulking might also work, probably. I would be too afraid of, like, for example, if I was to remove this from the layout, right? Like if I wanted to scrap this whole piece here, it's not attached to the backdrop, so it won't hurt it. If I use caulking along there, I do run the risk of it ripping the actual backdrop. So with Play-Doh, I mean, if it dries, or when it dries, I should say, it just hardens. It's not going to attach itself to the actual backdrop. So that was my reasoning behind the Play-Doh. But yeah, you're right. If I didn't care, a bead of caulk along there would be perfect. That, and I don't have any. So then I'd have to run out and, I know, first world problems, right? I ran out of caulking. But Play-Doh is like $1 or something. And because I have kids, you know, I had lots on hand. Now, I'm not even going to do ballast all the way back because there's really no point. You only see, again, to like right about here. So anything beyond this is just overkill and it's not even worth it. So if it looks like I'm doing a half of a job, it's probably because I don't need to do a whole job. Need to flatten that out, make it a little bit wider because it does get a little bit wider down here. Cool. All right. It's really, really taking shape. Good morning, Ron. And don't forget, guys, we've got a live. Well, I've got a live tomorrow morning as well, where we do the Sunday brunch kit builds. Totally separate from what I'm doing here. And we are doing another. I'm starting a new kit tomorrow. And it's part of the Steel Mill series. So you'll want to check that out. We've been going strong, working on kits every Sunday. And I'm pretty sure we're going to go right through to the fall, because normally in the fall, when it gets colder, I can't really do any painting outside, and some colors I cannot paint inside. So hopefully, well, by then I should be able to run trains. So maybe we'll do like a Sunday train run thing. I don't think I need to go back any further than that. So I'm going to go back up this way a little bit. The reach here is really hard. It's really hard to reach. But we're getting through it. I should probably just grab my stepladder. Now I also have a fence that has to kind of stick into this as well, which is also neat because the Play-Doh will hold that. Okay, I'm gonna grab my stepladder. Give me 2 minutes. All right, so I got my stepladder here. So I should be able to reach, a little bit further. Hey, Jack, what's going on, man? Just shaping that, pushing it in, and then pushing it along here. Hillbilly Railroad, how are you today? Thank you for joining us. Wow, there's 21 of you in the chat right now. That's awesome. You know what? If we get to 25 people, I'm gonna show you guys what I've been working on. It won't be a huge in-depth thing, but if we get to 25 people, I'm gonna show you guys the huge addition to the layout. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll keep my eye on it. So we're at 21 people right now, so. Almost like a sneak preview. K-Town Rail fan, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Come this way a little bit. So I wonder, sorry if I'm making anybody nauseous. There we go. This might be the last piece I do from this side. I'm going to probably have to go to the outside to add the rest. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Okay, that looks good. I do kind of want to come back this way, though, now that I have a bit more of a reach. I'm just going to fix this other side. This Play-Doh idea is actually, I find it to be quite beneficial. I mean, sure, it takes a little bit to, spread out the Play-Doh, but goes a long way. All right. Do I do the fence? You know what? Maybe I should finish the Play-Doh going along there first, and then I'll put the fence in. Unless I put the fence in first. So the fence has these little spike things. And that helps to go down in. There we go. Now I can definitely continue that fence on as well. That's the it's not that great of a fence. It's the Walters one. The Walters chain link fence. Not a huge fan of it, but it's like whatever. It comes with a lot of kits for free, so meh. Okay, so what I will probably do now, I mixed up a few different ballasts, and I've got one that is consecutively for mainline. So I think what I will do is I will do the mainline first because it's, farthest back. And we'll go from there. Again, this thing here is, I'm not gonna say it's amazing, but it really helps. Because there's no way I'd be getting in here with a spoon, right? I'm on a step ladder, the roof is very close to my head, and I'm in a module, in a helix. Sorry about the squeak. And Roy, Container Man, how's it going? So I hope once all this is done and I can actually run trains, I'm gonna get the CV, whatever it's called, the CMX track cleaning car. And that'll be cool because there's a lot of areas on my layout with track that do need to be cleaned, A, and B, I mean, it's tough to get at some of these spots. So. Also, I'm really sorry if you can't see as well, if I'm in the way. Wicked Insanity, how's it going? So for this mixture here, this is my mainline mix, which has fine gray, fine brown, 50-50. Well, I'll say it's 40-40, and then a 20% mixture of medium gray. And I do this on my mainline all the way around. I like to keep that consistency at least. And definitely need a bit more in here. That sounds terrible. You know those jobs that you dread doing on your layout? This is definitely one of those things. Well, see, that's what I'm doing, right? Because the next level hasn't been built. That's the next level there. So I'm kind of reaching through. But yeah, the module is in place, and I can't take it out because I've got my stick-on LEDs that go from one end of the room all the way down to the other end of the room. So they're on there. Did I plan that out the best? Probably not. But either way, this is just, sometimes I like to chip away at things. And for me, if doing one of those things is, well, let me put up the LEDs. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, it's getting there. Okay, I'll tell you what, you guys have been awesome. We didn't really get to 25, but I do want to kind of show you guys a sneak peek of what I've been working on this past week here. So, at the risk of a shaky camera, that's my top level right now. Didn't look like that a couple of weeks ago. So I've got track on there right to where the, that little battery is, where the soup can is, from all the way back there, right where there's a switch right here. And yeah, the track goes right around the back. And like I've got my ethanol plant up there. I've been working on that. Got my steel mill. There's a couple of buildings back there, only because I've got space, right? So yeah, this entire section here, which is basically, it's floating, but I mean, it's got like, you know, an L bracket. It's got a lot holding it up there. I mean, I wouldn't sit up there personally. But yeah, the train's going up and around that. And then there's going to be, you can see that bridge that's sitting right there. That has to go in place. Mark found me some abutments the other day, so I'll be able to put those up. And then I'll be able to continue on around, and I'm getting the wood for over here and the wood for the helix like next Friday, I think. So that's why I need to get this area done here, because like I said, I'm inside my helix right now working away at this. So yeah, got to get this done so that I can, you know, get up the helix and get this thing done. Because keeping in mind, my deadline is September 15th. I want to run a full train around all 3 levels by the 15th. And that's almost a couple of weeks away. Just under. But, you know, I'm not rushing or anything. But I'm definitely excited. Because that golden spike has to happen. You know? But yeah, you'll see a better look when I do my layout overview in just a week. My September update. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back this way. And we're going to do the next color. So this here is a bit of a different look than the other one. It has a different mixture. I just kind of threw it together today because I was looking at pictures of North Bay and I'm like, well, what does it look like, you know? And they're very similar. Like you can almost see a similarity there, but at the same time, trying to keep it different. This one has a different texture. It has less brown to it as well. It has more gray. Okay. And you'll notice with this one, I'm not going to clean as much off the sides of the rails, or the ties, I should say. This whole thing is going to look like one giant thing of ballast until I add the, because they have a lot of weeds and overgrown stuff. Let's see. Yo, that would be awesome, Roy. Patent pending. Yeah, or even like a bottle that you can buy that has that option, or where you have something like this, right? And then you turn this upside down and that attaches to that. That way you can, go through. But they're always like, well, do 2 feet at a time, or do 3 feet at a time, something like that, And it's like, well, what if you have a whole yard to do? Are you really only going to do 2 feet at a time? Or are you going to ballast like a good portion of that? And then just glue it down. Again, it probably doesn't look like much, but once I get the greenery in here as well, it'll look a little better. And then areas like this here where it obviously goes up to a concrete pad. You want to make sure you add a decent amount here. Sorry. off that ladder because that hurts. Hey, James. Hey, Forever DC. All right. All right. This will take a bit to adjust as well before I do glue it down, because I know everyone's saying, don't forget to glue it down, after especially the issue I had last time. That was fun. But yeah, so, but up here, I think that, you know, no harm can be done up here. So I think we're good. And I like how when you do use the like the glue and the isopropyl, it does get a little darker, because this does seem, it could be just the lights, but it does seem a little on the bright gray side. So it could probably stand to be darkened up a little. And I don't have an airbrush, so I can't really darken up the ballast with paint. So. And then my next track here. So I'm kind of working, you know, as I go along here. Whoop. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So that's real top down right there. So just got to clean this up here. I'm going to have to add more ballast in there so that goes right up to the concrete. The cool thing about this is that because of the building, I can remove the building. I'm going to go in and do like some weeds right along the edge here because that's where they grow, right along the edge of the building. And then obviously like right in the center, and sometimes over top of where the ballast is. Thanks for joining us. We'll be on again tomorrow at 11 for the Sunday brunch kit builds. So if you want to see some kits being built, then you should join us then. Whoa, too much. Now, the other thing that I'll have to do with this area, just to kind of finish things off, I did want to add lights to the building, but I think that might be too much just for what I would need to do. So I'm going to add roof details, like vents and whatnot, to the actual building, because that's a custom build, right? So I have to add some detail parts to it, and then that'll be good. All the time is train time. A lot of this as well is just tedious work. Can't really make quick work of this. You have to take your time, unfortunately. I think that's why I dread it, because I like, taking an hour to do a job or whatever, and then I can walk away from it and then come back if I wanted to. But in a case like this is not a quick job. So if we don't start right up here. Now again, with this side here, I don't need to go all the way back as well, because of the fact that you won't see it. And it's just a waste of ballast at that point. hope everybody's having a good weekend. Not too much longer till the kids are back in school, that's for sure. Then it'll be a quiet house all day, 5 days a week. Yeah, it does look a little like snow, right? And it also helps me to see where the ballast is thinner as well, right? That whole area there needs again, I'm going to go over that with like some grass, some static grass and whatnot. Let me get rid of some of this. Just to kind of show you guys what I see. Whoop. That's what I see. Yes, yeah, there'll be weeds and shrubs and turnips and strawberries. And no, mostly just weeds and little bushes. And I'm going to add some trees along here. I can't block those hand throws though. But yeah, no, I already did static grass all on here. And I did just the shaker grass on here. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the static grass over that. This is already all down. This is glued down and everything. Like, that's all good there. So it's just a matter of blending this into that. And because it does go into the helix, I basically stop it right there. You can kind of see where I painted the brown underneath, and that I gave myself a stopping point because that's the scene there, right? Well, get rid of that track there. That's the scene where this just goes into helix for function, right? So I got to finish the scene side of things, and I'm not really doing anything with the helix. I'll paint this black, but that's about it. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I think I have to go to the outside now to be able to reach more of this stuff. Okay, so I need that ballast and that ballast and my bench. Okay, so we did the first, little bit there. I think I'm gonna, just for testing purposes, why not? Just want to see how much I can see, how it looks with the ballast on there and whatnot. If I need to add more, I will. Hopefully not. Yeah, right. See, you can't even see past that, area there. So why put ballast all the way to the back, right? That's what that's mostly what you're going to see there. So it only makes sense to go so far with that. Yep. I'm just going to move to the outside of this. Okay, turn that around so I can still see the comments. Okay, we're good. It's a lot of work. It's yeah. There's a lot of work involved here with this, unfortunately. And it's tough to have to do it all, or mostly all yourself. But I've gotten a lot done because of the fact that, you know, working from home and whatnot. So it kind of works out, you know. Okay, so now it's kind of going from foam onto the wood because I had changed over to wood at a point here because those foam sheets are only about 8 feet long. I really only need to go so far with this this as well because of the fact that like I really just need this area done, the stuff that I can't reach from the outside. And I'm running out of Play-Doh as well. I didn't want to use like a you know, blue and purple and orange and all that. I just thought it would stick out too much, so I just decided to go with a green. There's actually a couple of kinds of green in here, so it went a long way, that's for sure. I'll have to get some more. So that's the last Play-Doh there. And now I need to do some more ballasting. Should be able to bring that ballast right up to right there. Sorry if I'm not saying too much. Yeah. Hey, Tim, how's it going? No worries. Just, well, here, I'll show you what I did so far. Ballasted all that. And just, obviously, I'm continuing on down this way. So that's just what I've been working on here. Sorry. Really is a dreadful noise. Yeah, once I go to finalize things, I'll use my static grass applicator and add some weeds and bush and all that. And I'll blend it real well. Dang, that hurts the arms. So I'll have to come back and I'll straighten that up a bit more. But I've got to do this here now. Hey, Mystic, how's it going? If only if it was as easy as the real railroad. Send a couple of hoppers through, then send a spreader from some company that makes spreaders, like Walthers or something. Right? And then it'll look just like the real thing. Oh well. Almost. It would be almost zen if I was watching somebody doing it as opposed to actually doing it. Oh, okay, that's fine. We're good. I have to go into the inside for that. Switches are one of those really weird things to try to ballast. I know for a lot of people they don't like ballasting switches, so I'm going to take my time with it and work this one out so that it still works after I ballast it. I seem to be okay with doing it. I don't prefer it by any means, but it's got to be done. Of course, you got to make sure it's cleared off real well, because you don't want ballast getting stuck in there and then trying to throw the switch and you can't. And yeah, there's also in the actual North Bay, there's a turntable. And I was really disappointed that I didn't get to add a turntable, because I think I've always wanted one. Maybe next layout. Maybe. But yeah, $400 for a turntable seems, frivolous when you can just pick it up and turn it around with your hand. Again, I do apologize for that terrible noise. We are almost done. we're still good. So yeah, we've done basically all this, and it's just a matter of doing this yard now, or not the yard, the ladder that you see right here, and finishing up the main back there. But I can only go so far with the main because I ran out of Play-Doh. As you can see, it stops right about there, and I still need to come back here a bit. So that makes it a little difficult to continue on this way. However, I can do it all from where I'm standing, right? Because this is, if I'm standing here normally. Okay. Thanks. My phone's going off. Okay. But yeah, so standing where I am standing right now, this is basically what you will see. I need to make that fence a little bit longer so I have a bit more. And I need to add shrubbery and whatnot, and a bit more ballast. Yeah, if I could have little remote-controlled bulldozers and caterpillars in here to, do this all for me, that'd be awesome. I think I'd have more fun playing with it than, actually doing what I need to do. So, but yeah, I did it's just about 2 hours there. It's a lot of work. And it's such a big area, so it's quite time consuming. So we'll call it. I'm going to end this live. Going to go get some lunch and stretch my back because my back hurts, my knee hurts, everything hurts. Getting old sucks. All right, well, until tomorrow, guys, because tomorrow we've got the Sunday brunch kit builds. And we'll be starting a brand new kit. All right. So we'll be here at 11, and you're welcome to join us. Until then, I'm Go VR Go Home, and stay tuned because we've got a layout update coming this week. And Dave Co is doing Third Rail Thursday this Thursday night at 8 o'clock. So we'll be over on his channel then. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You have a great weekend.